For a long time now, I've had a lofty goal of getting my full internet speeds over wireless, so I didn't have to run cables all over my apartment. I'm going to be living in an apartment for a little while, might be living in an apartment in the future. It is much easier for me to not have to run cables everywhere if I can. And up until now, I've pretty much failed at that. On the desk is the MeshForce M3 wireless system. Specifically the M3s, or M3S as it's called. It's a little bit confusing how they want you to pronounce that. We're gonna go over what's in the box and how it helped me finally achieve my goal. Let's get into it. In the box is not much. We have some documentation, instructions to get everything set up, and then of course we have the devices themselves. Now the setup we have is called the M3S Suite. And of course you can get the cheaper M3 Suite. The difference between the two is how many Wi-Fi points you get. The M3S Suite, which is what I have, has 3 Wi-Fi points, all with both LAN and Ethernet ports, which is better for me because I needed the flexibility. But there's also another catch to this. This particular setup has the most range of the two. The other one being the M3 Suite, which only has 1 Wi-Fi point and what MeshForce calls Wi-Fi dots. In other words, there are little hubs that you can plug in around the house, which will add to that MeshForce system, but they do not have any ports on them, so you can't actually plug a computer or any other devices into them. They are specifically to extend the range of the Wi-Fi point wherever you put it. The setup process was literally on one card, and it's like that for a reason. It literally took me a few minutes just to set it up. Plug in the first Wi-Fi point, install the app on your phone, go through the instructions, and then eventually it'll ask you in the app to plug in the other 2 Wi-Fi points or Wi-Fi dots, depending on which system you have. And that's it. Everything just started working right away. With everything set up, I was getting full speeds right off the back. 300 down, 12 up, which is my actual internet package. And I was getting that all around the house. I did notice that as I was walking around the house doing the speed test, there will be some times where it seemed like maybe it was my phone or maybe it's just how mesh systems work. This is my very first mesh Wi-Fi system, so I'm not that familiar with them. But it seems as if you hook up or you connect to a Wi-Fi point in one room and then walk around the house, there's a chance that your device is not cleanly switching between the nearest node or the nearest Wi-Fi point to keep up that full speed, whatever you may have. The simple fix of that is just to disconnect and reconnect, and all was well. Okay, let's check out the app real quick. So in this app, which is called the MyMesh App, you have all your devices here. I only have a network of 3 Wi-Fi points. So that's why you're only seeing 3 Wi-Fi points here. You have your upload and download speeds. Of course, you can see at all times what the total upload and download speed is being pulled on your network. If you want to see the individual, then you will tap on the 5 connected devices here. And you can see the individual upload and download speeds of each of those devices to see what the activity is going on your network. However, I don't think it is as detailed as the Google Wi-Fi app per se. It doesn't. I don't think it gets into as much detail, allows as much control as something like that. However, all your basics is here. Now going down, you see you have my Wi-Fi. We're going to tap on settings, and this brings you into all your available settings that you have for your network. Of course, you can tap into the wireless settings. You can set up your guest network, parental controls, all that kind of stuff. You can, of course, add in more mesh points. You can buy them separately and add them and extend your network to have as many as you want. I think it's not as many as you want. I think it's up to 10. If I'm correct, if not, I'll add it to the screen. But I believe it's up to 10 devices, 10 Wi-Fi points you can add in one network. Your smart assistant is actually for 2.4 gigahertz devices that need some assistance when actually add them to the network. I don't know what those might be. I had no issue at all with any device in my house. Port forwarding, of course, is for those times when you need Pacific ports open. You use that here. I'm running Plex server on my network over the wireless, so I needed to use the port forwarding to get all of that working correctly. My Plex server does work really well, by the way. I had no issues, even though everything is running over wireless. UPnP, mostly used by game consoles and Pacific other devices, and of course firmware upgrades and maintenance schedule. My usual take on firmware upgrades is just like on any other router, which is don't upgrade the firmware unless you absolutely need it. Other than that, it is a nice little app. Like I said, it covers all the basics. I don't really find myself missing anything. However, like I said, I do prefer, in terms of a Wi-Fi app, I prefer the Google Wi-Fi app over this. However, it covers everything you need. You're not really going to miss anything. It does exactly what it needs to do. Now, like I said before, this is not my first time trying this. At the beginning of the video, I told you that, I've been trying to get the full speed over my wireless network, and I've been failing at it. I did try some other solutions. I started with the Google Wi-Fi and an access point, a Wi-Fi access point. This didn't really work, at least not as well as I hoped, because the access point ended up cutting my speeds in half. However, it was good enough for both YouTube and streaming. So I actually did this for a year before Google Wi-Fi, or Google pretty much, released an update which killed the speeds of the Google Wi-Fi, which made the entire system just unusable. The next thing I tried was upgrading my modem to the Xfinity X1 modem router. This one has Wi-Fi included, and actuality, if I was standing on top of the Wi-Fi router itself, I would get full speeds. But the moment I moved just a little bit too far away, or just a few steps away it seemed, that speed dropped almost in half. And yeah, that just didn't work out well. I, of course, also put Wi-Fi on my computer using a card from Ubit, which the card was pretty decent. And this one gave me Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth. However, when in testing it, it was just unstable. Every time I connected with it, sometimes it will connect stable for quite an extended period of time. And then the moment I start doing things like streaming or anything like that, I would have constant disconnects and all that kind of stuff. So that didn't really work out as well either. I now have my entire apartment plugged into the MeshForce wireless system. Everything works. I'm so happy about that. That is literally everything behind me. That is 2 laptops, my PC, another PC, which is my wife's computer on the other side of the apartment, is now plugged into the system. And of course, our phones and all our devices, and everything is working fine. So that is just a great thing to actually have full speeds going everywhere where there can be full speeds over wireless without me having to run incredibly long network and Ethernet cables all over the place, which is what I was doing before. So yeah, if you guys do need a wireless system, this is something to consider. It may not, it's definitely not for everyone. It really depends on your application. But I think for most people who are running a wireless network of any kind or need a wireless network of any kind, it's probably going to do something like this, or you're going to have to go up way in price. So I hope you guys did really like this video. If you did, go ahead and drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are doing for your wireless system, how you guys are running your networks, any questions you might have on the products that we talked about today. Let me know down there in the description box. And of course, also down there is the like button and the subscribe button so you can see more tech videos and streams from me. You guys have a good one. Bye.